Evening folks, and welcome to this demonstration for my Casio BM500W weather station barometer watch. Now this is a watch that I bought brand new in 1992 or 3, and I wore it for about 10 years doing all sorts of things with it, going underground, diving and working on oil rigs, and it's stood the test of time quite well. It's picked up a few scratches, but it still works, and the barometer function still works. The BM500W was Casio's second go at a barometer watch. The BM100W had the same functions but a different display. And what you've got on the display here is the time and the date, obviously, and then you've got this bar graph type thing in light blue there with various different measurement scales on it, and that's used for as a sort of analog indication of either the pressure or the depth or the altitude. So at the moment you've just got those bars in the middle, and what that's telling you is that the pressure, the barometric pressure, it hasn't changed much in the last 3 hours. And if you press the tendency button, it will display what's been happening. So the last 3 hours, not a lot, it hasn't changed. The 3 hours before that, in fact the 6 hours before that, it was increasing, and then the hours prior to that it was steady as well. So these are all sort of 3 hour segments, and you can just see the little arrows there with the up and down showing what the tendency is. So it's got this pressure sensor on the side here which it uses to measure the pressure, and if you press the button you go into barometer mode as shown by the flashing barrow there, and it's using this red scale here which is in millibars, and it's showing the current pressure is 1013 millibars, and as you can see you've got 1000 there, so it's a bit above 1000 on the scale there, and the scale doesn't go from 0, it goes from 600 to 1200 millibars. So the next mode is the altitude mode, and this uses the blue scale on the outside here, so it goes from 0 up to 10,000 feet, but the middle there is actually 3,000 feet, so it's not a linear scale. And it's showing my current height is 20 feet, which is about right since I'm up on the first floor of my house. It's showing my maximum height today was 140 feet, which probably was going over the hill on the way to work. And because the indication of altitude can change depending on how the barometric pressure's changed, it does allow you to reset the altitude using the adjust button. Obviously if the barometric pressure drops, it thinks you've gone up in altitude even if you haven't moved at all, so it allows you to reset it to allow for atmospheric pressure changes. Then the next mode, it's gone back to time mode, so you've got, there's the altitude. The next mode, which is also in feet, is depth, and it's actually measuring on using this inside scale, the little green feet indicator there, and it's showing I'm currently at 0 feet depth, so I'm not underwater. You've got the little depth indicator flashing there, and as you go down underwater, it fills backwards on the arc of display there. And I've used it scuba diving, and it's proved very accurate, and it's good that it manages to do water depth as well as air pressure using a single sensor. The next mode is the alarm mode. There are 3 alarms, and as you can see this is alarm 1, and it's set for a time as well as a date, so you can set time and date, and then alarm 2 and alarm 3 aren't set, and it's got an hourly chime as well. Just go back to the alarm mode and keep going. So that's alarm mode. There's a countdown timer, and unfortunately it doesn't use any of these segments for any sort of animation, which is a bit of a pity, but there we go. And also, I'm going to go back to time mode, go through all the modes again. There's a stopwatch mode as well there, and also there is a light. Not quite sure where it lights up, can't quite make that out. But that's it, the Casio BM500W from 1992. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Cheerio.